Very good evening, everyone. This is Akhilesh this side, and today we are going on our next video, and we will be talking about workflows. So, I will start and I will give you a basic idea of why workflows are there. Okay, so instead of just jumping into the topic, we'll understand why. So, what happens is many companies don't lose revenue because of bad marketing. Sometimes, what happens is because they don't know what to do, or rather, even if they know what to do, they sometimes miss the entire process. Okay, when the process gets broken, so there is no follow-up, no consistency, and no system. In this video, I will show you how high performing teams fix this. And by building workflows, we ensure that every lead is handled correctly every single time. Okay, so it's all about handling your leads so well that you don't miss out on any opportunity. Okay, so think about any CRM, not just Zoho. Any CRM is not just a tool. Okay, it's something that's building a system of giving you predictable revenue. Okay, and it does not depend on people. It is built in such a way that people are informed that what they have to do next. So you take away that stress from people and you let the tool do this thing, and you're building a very good system that brings in the revenue properly because of what you have created. So understand the responsibility here when you look at CRM. Okay, now how do we start creating workflows? If we first go here, okay, go in setup, and here you can see workflow rules. You can type here also. So for example, they have created a rule called it as big deal rule probability. So this is already entered here. Okay, so this is one of them, and we will be creating our own this thing. Now let's say when, so there are different modules. We'll start with the leads module. So when a lead enters, and what should we call it? Okay, so instead of calling it just plain rule one, we can say lead captured, and you can add a description. For example, it can be about allocation, welcome message, etc, etc. Okay, and next follow up. So anything, I'm just giving it like that. Okay, follow up. So understand this one thing, that how we have to create it, and after that you can experiment on your own. Remember, Zoho is free for you to try out. This will give you a very good chance to work on. Okay, so for example, a lead is come in. How would you do it? So basically, record action, date and time field, record score, record notes. We'll start with record action. Create or edit, whatever you feel like. If you talk about only edit, it will be for a very specific field. If you talk about create, say next. So for example, here you have got different filters. Okay, here I usually look at status, whatever it is. Okay, not qualified, for example. There can be others also. The way we changed in the pipeline, we can change here also. So for example, attempt to contact, very simple. Okay, so one thing that you can do is, for example, assign an owner. You can also, lead is captured, we'll have used. So users, select users. Right now there is only one user here. Okay, when there are multiple people, we will tell you, I will be able to inform you how you can create the round robin basis methods and everything. So that will be the next thing. Understand the first step right now, what you have to do, then later on do the entire reverse calculation on that. Then you can even send an email for to the email notification to the owner. Okay, and there are some other things, open meetings, open calls everywhere. You can just say save and associate. Okay, then you can also have sequential actions. So let's say 15 minutes rule trigger time. Next, what would you like to do? Maybe you want to sell them an email that, hi, we know all this thing, whatever. You have to select a template. If there is a sample template here, you will be able to select it, or else I will teach you how to create a template. Right now there are no templates, but we can create one. I'll just create a sample template. For example, we just take this one, look at the multiple templates which we have, and we just select one column here, and you can put here, title goes here, select this, We give it a name, skip. I say hi, template subject, hello. Now this is something that you will like, is this thing, lead name. Okay, you just say, well, this is your welcome paragraph, and then you can put a form and other things here. Right now we're just doing it as a sample. The headers and footers are something that select folder. If you don't have folder, we can just create it and you just click email and it's selected. Okay, that's it. So we have just created this in leads. Okay, now we can just refresh and we added it. Name, hello template, or the welcome template, whatever you call it, to the email. Okay, from whoever it is or any respective lead owner, and you just can save and associate. Next can be your scheduled action. You can look here is something that you can create an activity. For example, schedule a call. Okay, you can schedule a call creating plus 0 days, or let's say you'd say 1 hour. Or let's say is the best thing to do right now is basically immediately after the lead has been entered, the inquiry is created, you actually should be calling them. Remember this. The lead is usually the hottest when they have actually created their inquiry. Okay. Reference lead owner. So this lead owner will only get the notification. Okay, and we talk about the status here. So what you have to do here is the agenda. You can even describe the agenda. What is the agenda? Call to get details of requirements. If they're looking for a course वगैरह or anything in particular, if you are selling, and you just save it. Okay, so here have a look at this. Just cancel this. So there are different things. Instant actions are there. You can have multiple instant actions. You can even have a webhook and create a WhatsApp this thing with them. All those things will be there. Okay, I will explain you all these functions step by step later on, the tags, activities, everything. These will all be details, but this is the first thing that you will be able to set up, and now you just do is save. There you are. Now this has been saved. If tomorrow you have to understand the usage of it, all you have to do is go here, and anytime a lead is captured, you will probably see something. So what should we do here is, this is when a new lead is created. Now it is important that this process starts whenever a new lead enters the system. Okay, so now what we will do here is that we will create a lead and we'll see what happens. So we create a lead. So you see these things, these are compulsory. First name is Akhilesh, title, phone number, anything we can look at. My email ID is what? It's so I can put it sample email ID here. Okay, so for example, lead source mobile, if you want to add funnel. Okay, company name is TC, last name is last name, basically why. Okay, and we just save it. Now as soon as the lead is saved, we should go and check on the timeline. So look, the lead is created, then there will be some upcoming actions. Now if it did not happen, we should be able to see what went wrong. So we can check here if there were any emails which were sent out. If not, you should be able to see if your workflow has functioned or not. Now why it was not functioned? Because look at this. This was attempt to contact. And what did we do? We just did not move the lead stage. So we'll just go back, we'll search for this lead. Okay. Now because we did not keep a lead captured as a stage, that's where it went wrong. If you would have done that, we could have also got an email immediately. But now I made it attempt to contact. This has changed. Go to the timeline. So lead status has been updated from blank value. So now ideally the instant action should be triggered. And what the instant action should be, we'll go back here and we'll see. First we'll check here if anything has started. So we always check in the timelines if anything has happened. It shows 0. So we see if there are any upcoming automated actions or something like that. These are your entire interactions which come here. Okay, then we look at emails, if something has been scheduled or not, everything will be here. We'll go back here, go to settings, we'll again go to the workflow rules, and there we are. We check here and we see the usage. Create one. There are 3 functions. So owner was already assigned. So what went wrong? We'll have to check that. Okay, so there was a small mistake in the workflow there. So we'll just make some changes here. So we, let's say, call it contacted in future. We have not set up any workflow for contacted in future. And right now, if you look at the timeline, nothing happens when it said contacted in future. Now, what we'll do is we'll say attempt to contact. I will show you the mistake also of what exactly had happened. And now it's made as attempt to contact. So as soon as it's made attempt to contact, a call has been scheduled. Okay, look, it's time to call. So this thing came up immediately. So this is how your calling team will be informed that they have to call someone. You can mark as completed or anything what you would like, reschedule, cancel, mark as completed. If you mark it as completed, you have to mention what exactly was completed at what time, what was the call duration. All those things are usually captured, and voice recording will be on your cloud telephony. Everything will be in this in one place. Okay, and then you just go on timeline. You can see all the activities here. The email, if it has been triggered, I will show you the why the email was not triggered and why first it was not getting shown basically in the why the workflow did not trigger. I will show you everything here. So that's a mistake which can happen, but you this will be one work less for you if you understand this very well. Okay, we call it lead capture. So whenever is so first time edit, whenever lead is created or edited. Now this was only for this thing. So first when I said it like, and then I can add an action here. My next action can be an email notification, which is hello, and I just select this and I just associate. Now what will happen is I will just save this one. Now I will show you one more time what happens. Okay, so we'll go back to home, we will come back to a lead. Now for example, Christopher Mockley, whoever it is, and it's from lost, we make it to first. We'll look at the timeline, understand this. Lead image is uploaded, nothing else. Okay, so now you'll be able to see this, and we make it attempt to contact. Yes, save it. Now see what happens in the timelines. An email has been sent to him, hello, something like that. You can create a very beautiful template if you want. Then the lead has been captured, a cold call has been added, all these things are here. Okay, so everything will come here. Interactions, all that. Email bounced. Why? Because this person is not a actual ID. This person is non-existent. You can see where the emails and everything goes. So no records found. We'll check that why it went wrong. But yeah, this is what it is. Email has been bounced. So whenever usually they open or click an email, everything comes here. The emails list. There are notes if you are going to add some notes. connected records, cadences, whatnot. I will explain you all those things later on. Okay, so we'll go back to this lead. We will even check the lead with which I had created for myself. Go to timelines. We'll see the interactions. Okay, because we later on changed it, that's why. But okay, now you know what are the open activities here. You will see the open activities, call scheduled, all those things will come here. Everything will be in the same place. Okay, so just refer this whenever you are working on these things. This will actually, now yeah, there it is. It's a slight delay, but the email which was sent to him and what happened to the email, everything came here. The open activities are here. You can also add new activities. Okay, so this is the workflow. What did we do with the workflow? We did three things here. One, as soon as the lead came in, we saw to it they get a message, we get a call schedule as well. Okay, so understand what we did here is that we have reached out to the lead immediately. So if they register, the first communication that goes from us, even not via call, maybe on an email or on WhatsApp, will go out immediately. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing is we assigned an ownership. So for example, for any person here, for example here, let's go to this person again. His name is Akhilesh, and he had a lead owner as well. Now right now, because there is only one person in the team, that's why it's showing as lead owner will be only one. So now no more this thing, what do you say, like manually allocating the leads to people. Everything will be in one place. So if you want to see the owner, there it is, the lead owner. Okay, then there is a reminder and follow up which you can do here. So basically you can add open activities, you can add new. Also if you want, like what we did, we can also create one more rule which we call as a follow-up rule. So that's also possible, so that follow-ups are not lost or not missed. You can easily clone a rule. So for example, when a lead is edited or basically record an action, edit, okay, done. When the lead status is attempt to contact, or we'll change it here. We can actually also have call status. For that we'll need a calling module as well. So all leads, we can say that, no, not all leads, lead matching certain conditions. And here when we just fill it up, condition is address not relevant, created by created time. Okay, lead status. So for example, you called them first, they did not answer, so you again say it's not contacted. Is it done? Assign owner you don't need because it will be the same owner, so you can remove it. You can schedule a call again. Now when you schedule a call, now you can trigger date plus one business day or 1 day, whatever it is. We can add time from trigger. Yes, you can even add a new time. For example, I usually consider 11 a.m. as a good time to start off. The same thing, and you save it. So now we save and activate this. That's it. Okay, so now the same person has been on made on attempt to contact. Now we change there this thing and we call it as not contacted. Go to timeline again. Look, the second email has been sent at 9:07. There is a call scheduled. We'll go here, we'll look at open activities. So after 1 day, you just need some time for it to reflect in the dashboard again or in front of your screen. Look, open activities are now 3. Look, the call has been scheduled with Akhilesh Rathi for this thing. So understand this place, everything is set up. So now imagine you working with thousands of leads. Depending on the lead stage, you will set up what is the next agenda so that they are driven towards the revenue part of this thing. Okay. So notice everything. What we are doing here is not just building about an automation, you are creating a complete process of building a system for yourself. Now you want to see the workflow summary, you will see it here. View usage, at how many times the workflow was called from the recent update, all those things. Okay, you will see the usage here, you will see the open rate and everything, all those things are here. I wish I could show you the real data, but that would be not correct according to the organizational policies. But yes, you will be able to understand, get a fair understanding. Add 5 or 6 different email IDs of people you know, try to create their leads, and then send them emails. You will see that they will get the emails which are there. There is something that you can even do as a WhatsApp integration, but that's at a later stage that you need to look at. You need to have a proper web account for that. So WhatsApp business account is needed for that. So that also will be a better touch point for you. Okay. Now this is only one lead. Now imagine when you get 100 leads. If you are getting 100 leads, what will you do in that scenario? At that time, manual allocation is not going to be helpful for you. At that time, what's going to be more important is, look at this. What's going to be more important is how much free you are to work on the strategic part and drive towards the revenue. Look at this. So today's leads. So we created this lead today. You can even add dashboards later on. All these things will be here. Okay. You can see what are the calls, because I am, yeah, there we are, today's calls, everything. So your team also gets the information. Okay, what's the final insight? When you are able to connect the dots here, you will be able to understand how it's driving the revenue. Understand, this is your whole and soul criteria. The reason why you are learning CRM or learning anything is understanding where the revenue comes from. What is building the revenue? This is what you have got to look at. And when you build this up properly, when your follow-ups improve, your conversion will also improve. So it's basically the number of steps and how well you improve at every step is that's going to drive your revenue. So you are not just going to be a CRM specialist, you are designing of how a business is going to operate. Okay, and that's when you will be able to bring a better visibility, and you will be able to go ahead towards understanding what else will drive your revenues, what are the levers, where you're failing, what is the visibility, all those things. My next video is going to be about the reports. You should be able to measure these things. Okay, right? You should be able to measure these things. And that's where we'll be talking about analytics. This is where we'll be going next and understand what analytics is like. Okay, and you can just have different charts here. So this is what we'll look at, and then we will build this from the depth and understand where your entire visibility sits. So tomorrow we'll be looking at this, or in my next video. So subscribe if you would like to follow more, if you would like to learn more, and we can take some real question and answers and move towards the next video, or move towards the next step. Because once we are done with the CRM, even at a certain level, what I want you to work on is profit and loss, actual revenue systems. What are the levers? What is the classification of funnels? Why will you spend on something more and something less? All these are data driven decisions, and that's what we should be able to understand. Okay, chalo. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Good day. See you in the next one.